U.S. Representative.
My name is John Manlove. I want to thank you for having me here this evening. I was born and raised and worshiped here in this community all my life. I raised my family here. I put my children through public schools here. I was the mayor of the city of Pasadena for 8 years, at which point I balanced the budget, created a $2.3 million surplus, lowered the crime rate, and abolished the tax department. All the same things we need to be doing at the federal government level, but I have an actual track record of doing that. I'm also an ordained minister. I built a business here from a little one-car garage to one of the largest ad agencies in the Houston area. So I know what it's like to build a business. I know what the struggles are for a small businessman to build one here in this community. So thank you for having me, and I guess Siri, is that who will ask the questions?
The first few questions are actually a series of yes, no, or one-word response type questions. The questions will be at a fast pace, so there is no timer on these questions. What is your marital status?
Married for
Have you ran for public office before?
Married for 37 years.
Have you ran for Congress before?
Yes, I did.
If elected, where will your primary district office be located?
Pasadena.
How many times have you attended hearings in Washington, D.C.?
0.
Do you favor an increase in the minimum wage?
No.
That was the last of the quick response questions.
Geez, that was fun.
Question number 2, a 30-second response. Should a representative be required to actually live in the district a certain period of time prior to running for that office?
Absolutely, you should live in the district. If you're going to run for the office, you should live in the district.
Question number 3, a 30-second response. Will you support a constitutional amendment to require that laws apply equally to citizens and members of Congress?
Absolutely. We shouldn't have a government that's passing laws that the citizens have to live under without them living under the same laws. I totally disagree with a government that passes laws that they're exempt from.
Question number 4, a 30-second response. Have you read your party's platform, and do you support it?
I have to get creative to make this 30 seconds. I have read the platform, and I do support it, yes.
Question number 5, a 1-minute response. What is your overall thought on the Department of Homeland Security?
I think the Department of Homeland Security has been dysfunctional for the last several years under the current administration. I do think we should use some of those resources to secure our border. It's an absolute insult that we are not securing our border, and some of those resources should be driven here.
Question number 6, a 30-second response. What role should the Department of Homeland Security have as it relates to cybersecurity?
One of the things that, as it relates, I think we need freedom on the internet. We don't need intervention from the government there, except for as it applies to securing our patents, preserving our patents here that we have in this country, and any type of security as it relates to our national security.
Question number 7, a 30-second response. What are your thoughts of having drones watching our borders and citizens? And should local law enforcement be allowed to utilize drones without probable cause?
As the mayor of Pasadena, which has a large police department, I have a very good understanding of police and how it works. I do not think we should have drones spying on American citizens. On the border, I think it could be used.
Question number 8, a 30-second response. What are your thoughts on the war on drugs?
I think the war on drugs has been a failure. We're losing that battle, and some of it is the fault there again of not securing our borders. If you go down the southern border here, people are coming across at will. That is part of the major problem. I think we need strong enforcement.
Question number 9, a 30-second response. Is government spending out of control? If so, what should be done to reduce it?
The government spending is absolutely out of control. With $17 trillion of debt, our children will never be able to pay that. We need to start working toward a balanced budget and budgets that works on percentages instead of just raw numbers.
Question number 10, a 30-second response. What is the first piece of legislation you will personally offer?
One of the things I think is a top priority for our area is to do something about the Vigorous Waters Act that's going to devastate our local economy, get resources down here so we can build the Ike Dike, so we can solve our flooding problems once and for all, which would also solve the Vigorous Waters thing once and for all. That would be on our first objective.
Question number 11, a 30-second response. On which committee do you feel you are best qualified to serve? Please explain.
No one, I'd like to be on a small business committee. I think small business is being beat up and beat down too much by the federal government. In addition, energy is a top priority for our area. So I'd like to be on the Energy and Commerce Committee, which is one of the most important committees in D.C. and has very few Texans on it.
Question number 12, a 1-minute response. Please share your thoughts on amnesty for the estimated 12.5 million illegals in the United States.
That's easy. No amnesty, no compromise. Period. As Obama said that, didn't he? Period. I mean it.
Closing comment, a 1-minute response. You will have 1 minute to offer closing comments.
I think we all agree the country's heading in the wrong direction. We elect people, they go to federal government and they abandon our values and they waste our money. We need a leader who is able to solve the kind of problems we can no longer run away from and plan for the future at the same time. It's more than just finding problems and solving them. It's also about planning for our future, for our children and our grandchildren. God bless America, and thank you for having me.